Hello there. Today we're going to be watching the new Dune 3 trailer. This is one of the most anticipated movies of the year. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year. It is going to be incredible. I saw a post or a comment or something that said that our grandparents had Star Trek. I think it was Star Trek. Our parents had Star Wars and we have Dune, and I absolutely agree. Even as a diehard Star Wars fan, there is no denying that this Dune trilogy is going to be one of the best movie series of all time. I'm sorry. It is really good. The first two movies have absolutely crushed. I'm so excited for the third movie. And before I keep yapping, let's watch it.
I trusted you!
Gosh, I love it.
You promised me that you would never take power in your name. You convinced me that this was your home.
That shot right there.
That I was your home.
I'm excited for that.
What do you know about me?
You've conquered the galaxy. You've destroyed thousands of worlds.
What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, interesting.
I think you're way beyond redemption.
Why are you here?
To deliver a peace proposal.
Peace is a good thing. Why should I refuse?
Because it's meant to destroy you.
We plan to strike at the core of Imperial power.
You intend to kill Paul?
Regime change.
Idiot. You've just signed our death warrants.
I found
Ooh,
some.
love that. What a great shot. Dude, I'm getting chills. This looks so good.
The future has a way of talking to me. But I can't see what's ahead.
How does it feel to be human like everyone else, Paul Atreides?
You have no fear, do you?
I fear dishonor.
You sound like an Atreides.
I've been told I was one.
So cool. What the hell?
For all I've done.
Did she just tame a sandworm? What the hell? Shai-Hulud, I think, right, is the name of the sandworms. Shai-Hulud, I think. I remember I played Dune Awakening, and I remember they said Shai-Hulud, and they also say it in the movies. But oh, that's so cool! God, that looks so good. Also, go see this movie in IMAX. IMAX is great. This movie is meant to go to be seen in IMAX. Okay, first impressions. That movie looks incredible. I know people were a little worried about the cinematography just because, if I remember, I could be wrong, but the original cinematographer of Dune 1 and Dune 2 had moved to a different project. I am 50% sure that project was the Batman Part 2. So, that guy's going to have a great career. I could be wrong, but I do think 80% that there is a new cinematographer going into the third movie. About 95%. I'm 95% confident. But I think the cinematography looks great. If we're talking about just the difference between Dune 1 and Dune 2 and into Dune 3 for the cinematography, Dune 3 seems like it's going to be more focused on other planets and space travel, whereas Dune 1 and Dune 2 were focused on Arrakis. So it kind of does make sense to transition a little bit into a different cinematographer. But it still looks incredible. He definitely kept that original tone of the first two movies. I mean, this just... come on, son. This right here, I think this is going to be an all-time scene. A lot of people have been looking forward to this because this is when he does the chant and that everyone follows him. And that is going to be crazy. I mean, look at that army. That is freaking crazy. Oh man. So I think we're kind of getting a prequels kind of arc for Star Wars, right? Where Anakin was, in the first movie, obviously the super innocent kid, and then we see him in the second movie, he slowly starts to do evil things, as we do in Dune, right? With Dune 1, Paul Atreides didn't really show signs of villainy. In the second movie, he slowly started to become a little bit more evil, and we started to pick that up as an audience. And then in the third movie, I think he just goes completely evil. I mean, obviously the books, everyone kind of knows what happens in the books. I mean, I've never read the books, but I did buy the book, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to go read it. I'm so pumped to read it, just to kind of expand on my knowledge of the world of Dune. But in the third movie, we clearly through this trailer we saw that he's turning evil. I mean, at the end, he says, "Forgive me for what I've done." I think right here.
Forgive me for all I've done.
For all I've done, right? And when we talk about the dialogue, and which scene was it? Right here when we see, is it this scene?
You promised me that you would never take power in
Not
your
this
name.
scene. Well, this scene obviously shows that he's turning evil too. I mean, that looks
Convinced
evil.
me that this was your home.
He becomes power hungry, right? It started off his vengeance for his father against the Harkonnens, and then it's he become power hungry. He wants to conquer all the planets in the universe. I'm trying to think of the scene that, right here.
You have conquered the galaxy.
You've conquered the galaxy kind of shows the dead bodies, a little bit of, how would I say it? Just connection between that there are a lot of lives there's a lot of people that he's killed while conquering the galaxy. That was a little, obviously, on purpose. That was on purpose. Not a little bit. I said a little. It's not a little. It's very in your face. But this right here, gosh, that looks so creepy and good. I don't know, because in the first two movies, he did have these visions, and I don't know if this is a vision, because we assume that it's Anya Taylor-Joy who's playing his sister, who we had seen in the second movie. We see his sister in the back right there. So we don't know if this is a vision or not. I assume so, but this looks, again, this must have been an insane day on set. It kind of looks practical, so that would have been insane. It looks really cool, interesting. Kind of shows that, again, Paul Atreides is losing it. I think this movie looks really good. I love the old school sci-fi vibes. That stands out to me the most, right? Is the old school sci-fi vibes. I love that. That is when sci-fi. There was just something about that old school sci-fi. I can't even put it into words, but when you see it, you know it. We go look at some shots. We look at the shot right here, not right here, but there's right here when he's at the throne. Again, very old school sci-fi, but it does feel very modern, but it has that vibe with the throne in the back, with this giant throne room, and the guards has that old school sci-fi vibe. I love that. It looks so good. There's another scene. I love the scale of it too. The scale is really, really cool. We see it right here with the statue and just the giant buildings and the giant ships. There is such a big scale that is so hard to achieve in live action. But that is what really drives me towards God of War. I love the God of War video games because of the scale. Like, you're in such this, there's these massive monsters and these massive buildings and this architecture, and it's so cool. And you're kind of fighting those giant monsters, and it's just so cool. Again, we see that here, where it's these giant statues and architecture and these buildings and these ships, and I love this scale. But again, very old school sci-fi. It kind of reminds me of, for some reason, Jason and the Argonauts, right? This movie from the 1960s, based on the Greek mythology. I think it's Greek mythology, but it's based on the Greek mythology, and it has that interesting, really unique vibe. But when he comes out of the water and he's this giant, and there's the Argonauts, if I remember, on the boats, but it just kind of that scale, right? And that vibe, very unique for the 60s, very ahead of its time, but it was really cool. But going back to the old school sci-fi vibe, You know, there are a lot of shots. This right here got compared a lot to Lawrence of Arabia, and I 100% agree. Let's go back to being able to see stuff at night in movies. Why can we not see at night? I get it if it's a horror movie, but for most movies, why can I not see at night? It doesn't make sense. I'm glad that they are doing it because that's how it should be. I should be able to see stuff. You know, we go look at Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. You could see at night. It made sense. There was lighting because I want to be able to see what I want to be able to see and appreciate the cinematography, and I want to be able to see the scene. But there is this new thing with realism in movies where they just make it completely dark and unable. You're just not able to see anything, and I have to squint at my TV screen to be able to see what I'm looking at. But I like this. I like the way this looks. I think this looks really cool. I think the lighting looks cool. I like just the blue background. It's just really really cool. Another sci-fi. Oh, so what a great shot right here. I could talk about cinematography all day. I think it's so cool. I'm a sucker for a shot like this where there's something in front of the moon. It looks so cool. It just looks cool. I like it. I think that's a moon. It's a moon. I'm saying it's definitely a moon. But what else? What else? What else? Let's talk about cinematography. There was one where there's a ship, and I can't remember where it's at. Is it right here? Nope, not right here. Anyways, oh god, look at that. I mean, that looks so good too. Oh. But again, I just love that old school sci-fi vibe. Bring that back. Again, it mixes the modern with the old. I really appreciate that. This movie is just going to be so good. I think this is going to be Timothy's Oscar, in my opinion. If there's any movie that he has a chance of winning an Oscar for, it's this one. And Marty Supreme was really, really good, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it was an Oscar. I mean, it was worth an Oscar nomination, but not an Oscar-worthy performance. It 100% deserved. It could have gone either way, but it was 100%. It belonged to Michael B. Jordan. That performance playing twins is just it was so incredible in Sinners. He just this movie to me again a great year of movies. I think that it is going to be hard for Timothy to win the Oscar, but I think that if he's going to do it with any movie, it's going to be this movie 100%. I mean, already just the minimal performances that we saw, the minimal scenes that we saw with him in this trailer just showed me that it's going to be a really good performance. I could keep yapping about this movie. I'm going to be honest. It just looks so good. I'm really, really excited. So that's why I'm kind of all over the place when I'm talking. But go see this movie in IMAX. Please go see this movie in IMAX. It 100% belongs in IMAX. But let me know what you think about the movie in the comments below. Please. I think that most people are excited. But if you're not excited, let me know why you're not. If you are excited, let me know why you are. But thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see all of you beautiful people later.